What is up there, guys? It's your boy Frenchie on my channel, Delta Player. We're going ham status here with our fourth or fifth, I can't remember, pickup video. This one's actually pretty close to the previous video. We're going a little nut to butt here, which is good news for me because, and I guess good news for you if you enjoy the content. But just it means the pickups lately have been pretty bountiful. I guess that word works. The pickup I got was for Super Nintendo. I'm gonna include some other stuff I got just because this lot really isn't deserving of its own video, so I'm trying to look around my room and see if I forgot anything, which I did. I'm glad I looked. There's a bunch of games I forgot to include here. I'm pulling them off my shelf as we speak. But as you can see, that's the console itself. All the cords, all the hookups needed. 2 controllers. The console's not that yellow. It's actually in pretty good condition. It's the second system that came out, second version. It's still the AGS-001, but they reconfigured the eject mechanism on this one, and they used to put a little warning label sticker here, but it obviously is peeled off, which isn't a big deal. And then some of the lower title games here, he started reading off the list on the phone, and that's always the pivotal point. I don't know if you can really read these, but that is Paperboy 2 for the Super Nintendo, Toy Story, and I'm like, oh man, these aren't worth shit. And then he's like, bases loaded, I'm just going to put them in front of each other. NBA Jam, great game, sticker's a little bit fooped up, but Stanley Cup, Bulls vs. Blazers, what an odd name for a basketball game. A second copy of Stanley Cup, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this is terrible. I'm going to offer this guy $5 for this shit. And then, what else does he have here? I'm looking through all these freaking games. Alright, so then what is this? Troy Aiken Football, great game. That was actually really fun back in the day. And then he's also have a Wii game, and it's Link's Crossbow Training, which, I mean, isn't an amazing game, but I mean it's cool to have another Zelda game in the franchise, or Link, I guess. And then I'm like, this is horrible. There are no good games. And then he comes out with SimCity, and I'm like, all right, sweet. It's not a high dollar grabbing game, but it's still fun. And then he says ActRaisers, which I already have, but this is my second copy now, and I'm like, ooh, that's a $25 game. Now we're talking. And I was like, do you have any more? He's like, oh, I don't know, man. Maybe let me look. I don't think so. And he's like, oh, wait, I do. And he's like, The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. I'm like, fuck yeah, because I don't have that game yet, which is embarrassing. I should. That's should be a game that any collector would have. I mean, it's considered one of the best Zelda games, and also one of the best games for the console itself. I don't think so. Not a Zelda fan. You guys know this already. And I was like, okay, now this lot's actually worth it. Now this guy, I might give him a reasonable offer. And I'm like, all right, anything else? He's like, oh yeah, I just found 4 more. Another Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, which is great. I can make my money back. That's super good news for a collector. Double copies of great games are what we want. And then he keeps going on this streak. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. I'm pretty sure this is the first installment of the Final Fantasy game for the, first installment for the Super Nintendo, I should say, for the Final Fantasy franchise, which is awesome. And then he says Super Mario All-Stars, and I'm like, holy shit, this is, he saved the best for last. This is awesome. And then another one, which is Donkey Kong Country, and these are all listed at the end. It's almost like he did this on purpose. And I was like, Jesus Christ, now I can easily make my money back if the offer's right. And then I was like, is there any more? He's like, no, I don't think so, man. That's pretty much it. And he's, tweaking out on the phone. You could tell he's like, so how much can I get for him? How much can I get for him? Every game, he's like, how much can I get for that? I was like, I don't know, man. Keep reading. He's like, oh, wait, there's one more. And he said, Super Castlevania 4. And he's like, how much is that worth? And I'm, nutting in my pants at this point. There's just spooge everywhere, totally blow load. And he's just like, how much can I get for that game? And that game's got to be rare. And I was like, oh, man, that game's not worth a lot. Totally lying. This game's probably the most valuable out of all of them. I think that's around, $45 to $50 that game goes for. And it's a super fun game. I love that game so much. Probably one of my favorites for the system. It's probably one of the best Castlevania games in the series. I think it's better than Castlevania Dracula X, whatever the fuck that game was for the Super Nintendo. Not as rare. And I'm just like, dear God, this is awesome. And so I lied to him, and he's like, how much can I get for him? I'm like, oh, you could probably get about $10 for Super Mario All-Stars, but not too much more than that. And he's like, oh, really, man? I was like, yeah, I could give you $50. How's that sound? He's like, all right, that sounds okay. So I got this whole lot for $50, which is incredible. I could sell pretty much Zelda, that second copy of Zelda, and make all my money back, which is awesome. I know this is, I don't want to gloat, oh, look what the shit I got and all this money. I shouldn't even talk money, but it's so, you know what that feeling's like. Whenever you're driving back home from a pickup and you're just like, dear God. So obviously the extra money I got, I went to Target today, they told me they got an extra shipment of World of Nintendo. If you're not a collector and you see me buying these things, you're probably like, what the fuck is going? What is wrong with this guy? Like, he buys these like little toys. Well, these go for a lot more money on eBay. If I was smart, I would buy them all up at Target and then resell them on eBay to make a profit. These ones aren't too rare. Samus is probably the more rare figure out of like the original like Mario Party group. I'd say that Link is probably the most rare just because it's Target exclusive. That usually goes for $10 retail and then $30 online, so you can sell and make double your money back, or just double your money. And but this one, not to spoil, but it's like the mystery thing that it comes with is it's like a morph ball you could be with Samus. I'm kind of dragging here. I'll try and pick it up. And then I also got Toad, who has a coin that he comes in the little mystery box. So that's pretty cool. So those are the two figures I got. So happy I finally got like 4-inch figures. I'm so sick of these little like 2.5-inch figures that I constantly get. Those were getting old after a while, just like constantly having to like buy these little tiny ass figures. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I got. I think there's just sports games, because I'm looking at them, like I see a couple SNES games that are laying around my room that I did get, but they were just sports games. So nothing too much else to report, but I mean, for that whole lot, like that, it's crazy how much that's worth. It's just, it's so awesome. Hey, if you're a collector, man, tell me, what I want to know is tell me the best deal you ever got on video games. Like, you went to a Goodwill and you found like an N64 for like $10 or something like that, or some just crazy deals, like Craigslist pickups, thrift stores, yard sales. Tell me what you got. Tell me, like, and also, like, if you haven't had good pickups and you're not really collecting, you just kind of stumbled on this video, let me know what your collection is, like, from your childhood. Like, you're just like, oh shit, I didn't know my N64 was worth so much. So let me know in the comments, guys. Thumbs up would be appreciated. Obviously, subscriptions would just fucking make me super hard, and I would love you guys to death. I'll see you next pickup video. Peace.